Well, hello everyone, and welcome for another episode of TAS Professional Amazon Sellers. And we have a guest, as I promised you. We're going to continue bringing some of the biggest and brightest brands and Amazon sellers available, and one of them is here with us. We have Adia, the co-owner and the CEO of an RA Cosmetics. And Adia, it's great to have you on our podcast. And why don't you introduce to our listeners what is an RA Cosmetics and what do you guys do?
Adia, and I am the co-owner of RA Cosmetics. We are a natural skincare hair care company. We are Black-owned, women-owned, family-owned business. We sell a variety of products. We have whipped shea butters, which is really nice and moisturizing for the skin. We have the cleansing black soaps. We have natural hair oils, skin oils. We have everything from head to toe. Okay. So we have been in business for 20 years. We are located in Norcross, Georgia, which is about 20 minutes from Atlanta. And we are a great big seller on Amazon, and I'm just here chit chatting with Ruben.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And that was a great introduction. And yes, so we met Adia through the BBA program. I think was Felipe who made an introduction. And honestly, I did not know about the brand before. And when I started checking in and kind of an understanding the brand, how big it is, and 20 years in the business, it was huge. So thank you for that to breaking up. So our first question is usually around the the brand transition because we've already interviewed so many partners and there are different stories of each one how they get into Amazon. Some of them are a straight up Amazon brands. They start with an Amazon and they go. Your journey is different. Your journey was being more of a retail, wholesale, and then kind of a transitioning to direct to consumer, specifically to Amazon. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that transition, decision making, what was behind? Because there are a lot of brands that listening to this podcast and are in that stages. Because as a matter of fact, there are still many brands who do not even know how well their brands are doing on Amazon as them being in retail and wholesale concept. So I think I'll be interested to understand kind of the mindset behind it and transition.
So the brand, my father started the business 20 years ago. It was just him taking care of his, family skin, and he has always had an entrepreneurial, mindset. So he started selling to stores that would take his products, and it would just be a deal like that. We would do like pop-ups around town, and that was it was more like family word of mouth and pop-ups. And then as time went on, we acquired the space for manufacturing and we had like a small storefront. And so the business started in 2024. We had the warehouse and the storefront, and then we started to move more towards this area that we're in. So it's about 25 minutes from the original area where we started. And we started on Amazon. We started on, different platforms like Etsy and eBay. And, we just was, trying the website, well, e-commerce side of things.
Yes.
So, once we started that, it was really just posting and putting items up. It wasn't really much thought behind keywords and product descriptions and images. It was like a basic image, title. It was like very simplistic. And then I came on in 2022, November 2022, and I wanted to kind of just make the brand flourish little bit more, kind of just have a little more pizzazz to it. So, I wanted some more images. I wanted better images. We have, just other things that can be done, social media, just everything can be, spiced up to kind of make your brand pop. And then with that, I met someone at one of our trade shows that we do, and they introduced me to BBA. And then once I got into BBA, that's really when we started to kind of take off because we had a hero item, we had a top
Yes.
seller item that we just didn't know how to really kind of make it pop a little bit more on Amazon. So with it doing its own, you know, uh, how do you say it, Ruben? It had organic sales. So
Yes,
after,
exactly. Yes.
with the organic sales, we wanted to, put more effort behind, making sure we had the images, the videos, the keywords, the product descriptions, making sure that we had expiration dates on our product. We just started kind of, doing more things to elevate our brand. Um, and it's been a long transition, but it's just much more thought having to be put into becoming a larger business on Amazon.
Yeah, great. And kind of touched a couple of interesting points that I want to elaborate a little bit more on. So the first one was I remember seeing, when I started doing the research in RA Cosmetic, like some of the listings were created by you. Some of them I think was a random, people created because the popularity of the brand was already so big outside of the Amazon that traffic of an influx, as you described it, an organic, was already there. So people were automatically looking for the brand and products because it's actually already had the big word of mouth. But as you described also, so this is another part of it that is very important for all the brands to understand. Even though you may have that organic visibility, there are certain technical aspects that will get you your rankings higher, your conversion better. Let's
Exactly.
assume an example where, all right, I've heard about your brand, but I've never used it. It's a very shallow knowledge about the brand. And I go on an Amazon as a trusted place to shop. And when the brand does not have that organic reach, because let's say I'm making a mistake when looking at the correct name of the brand, or when I'm getting into your brand and it has a multiple sellers and the information about the product is not complete, it can dissuade me from making that purchase. So it will it will stop from your brand doing do things, getting more discoverability, losing a customer, and losing a conversion. So the transition you made and you described, I think it's very important for every brand out there to understand is you may have a product that organically already is set up and gets sale, but wait until you do those optimizations both on the listing backend side, which expands your reach, and also on the front side, which is going to improve your conversion. That will help you to take you to the next stage. So not only keep the customers that you already have, but also get you in front of so many other customers. And yes, that's kind of a bring us into the relationship that when we started and the objectives we had. So can we talk about that? So okay, so when you realize that what's happening, I believe one of the biggest thing was the SKU count for us, right? I believe I prepared a plan. And I think it's interesting for others to know as well because there are brands who have larger SKU counts
Mhm.
and how that process goes. What's more, the strategy behind your thoughts, kind of, and how we're going to do this to achieve it?
So I think when we started, it was us just making sure that the stars were going to align between me and you and your brand to see, what we could do. So we have so many SKUs. Like I think our initial conversation was how many SKUs are we looking at? And I was like, I think we have like 50 products on Amazon. But where should we start? We should start with maybe these first 20 and then just work our way up. And now I want y'all are dealing with all of my
Yeah,
Amazon items. So, you know,
yeah, and there's kind of a transition of putting things together, as far as goes, because when you're dealing with many SKUs, and there is a rule of an 80-20, which is kind of an Amazon rule of thumb, where your 80% of the sales come from the 20% of the product. And we know that rule exists, and we had that, like, what do you call it, the hero product. But what we wanted to achieve, we wanted to put a system there, and which system that we still use, which is we are growing incrementally, not only the existing listings we had, but the more products we bring it in. And now when we do that, we continuously make sure that all of the check boxes are done, which is the content, the SEO, to make sure that the visibility grows. Because at the end of the day, when you are creating that brand awareness, and even better, when you have that brand awareness, it makes that easier to introduce new products, new product launches. And you never know which one is the next product that was introduced going to be
right.
added to that 20% that I was just describing. Because with introduction new product, you may get another new hero products that are just going to be added. So doing that systematically, I think one of what the was one of the keys, kind of in this relationship building together. So thank you for sharing that. So is there anything that you can share for the listeners? Again, it's like cares two things. This podcast is educational because there's a lot of other there who are seeking help, but they don't know how the relationship goes. Can you tell the little bit of a beginning of the journey when we started, how that process goes for others, kind of, and share your own experience with that?
It was a pretty smooth process. You have a team of people that are very helpful. So, kind of getting to know who has what's everybody's trained area, and you get to know them, and it just made it easier. So now I know who to reach out when I'm dealing out with this problem or who's going to be working on this. So, getting to know your team was very helpful. And I feel like I've had like a relationship with all of them because I can reach out to them and I don't take offense. They don't take offense. They'll respond when they can. I'll respond when I can. But just being patient and understanding that it's not an overnight thing. It does take some time in order for you to really see what's going on. But as you stick with the process, you'll see, your brand awareness. It's not just the sales as well. As long as you're having the brand awareness, because we're in Atlanta. I've gone to California, to New York. I have more brand visibility now because I have a team that's helping me with my brand page, with my creatives, with like you said, the optimization of all of my, SKUs and ASINs that I have, has just made my brand pop. So with the loyal fan base and customers that we had already, we've gained so many new ones.
Yes,
So with everyone having like their area that they were knowledgeable in, it kind of just helped me figure out what I needed to give them in order to help my business.
yes,
So with time, those first 3 to 6 months, you're really working on the creatives and making your images and, doing those type of things. And then as things go on, now we're working on the sales end of it. So now we're trying to figure out what's going to work as far as these keywords, what, sales are we going to give to certain customers? Are we going to do coupons? There's just so many things that can go on. And I think the biggest thing with joining a agency is just allowing the time to see the process because they're going to help you. They're going to show you the data work that's going to show you what worked, what didn't work, what we're going to try next. And I can appreciate that because the growth in different things and the patience that, me and my dad have to understand like, okay, this is not an overnight process. Y'all are very important. Y'all handle all the back end of things and it's not, once again, not just sales. It's also, looking at the reviews, making sure that Amazon takes down reviews that has nothing to do with the product. It's all about shipping. That you can't give me a 1 star because of that.
yes.
But because of y'all are helping me with making sure that that's being taken care of and I don't have to worry about that. So,
Yeah, thank you. It actually kind of incorporated my next question in terms of the, the operations, what is memorable, and you kind of described that. So yes, the way we, and with every brand, it's different. I want to admit, some of the brands, will have a different challenges, but I think one of the things that is memorable to me working with the RA Cosmetics as being as agile as we are as a remote e-commerce department, finding the right solution that fits. But most importantly, understanding the challenges and being able to create a strategy and with the right partnership understanding, which is like you mentioned, it's not something an overnight. One process gets on another, it's built up, and then it kind of comes into a culmination. Because let's admit it, there are going to be always, one or another type of challenges, and having that right person on both ends. It's not a one-sided thing for anyone out there listening. This is not about the brand and the seller, and this is not about the service provider. It's a very much joint effort and having the synergy working together and the system working together that's going to bring the absolute best results. And yeah, we aside from the major things that is popular on Amazon space, which will be the advertising and creative, it's also for us overlooking the business entirely. What is that extra challenge or what is that problem that can come ahead of us or we've already have that can help to achieve our overall goal. And it's been a very major part of our relationship, and I like that as kind of where we build it. you bringing that up, and sharing, it's very important, I think, for everyone. So again,
Yeah,
thank you
for
very
sure,
much,
for sure.
for saying that. So on the other one, we have this question is, and in my mind, I'm trying because we had multiple. It's like, what's the memorable achievement that we've had together? And for some of them will be the bestseller badge, or certain revenue goals. And I want to ask you, what is something like I certainly remember, but what is it for your brand as
Oh
far as the
yeah.
memorable? And I'll share that as mine. But what is yours, for that you can share with the others?
Well, we had a discrepancy with one of our hero ASIN, and y'all were able to help with the appeals and the appeals, the appeals, the appeals. It was
That's
just
the one.
one thing after another, one thing after another, and it was such a detailed thing that me by myself I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah,
And so with the team helping with, okay, we're not going to just this is the plan that we're going to, present to them. This might not work. If this not doesn't work, then we're gonna give them this is gonna be the plan. And then if not, this is gonna be the plan. It took a while, and I think I probably would have gave up, and I probably cried a couple of nights because of it. But y'all definitely helped with, that hero ASIN being given back to us
yeah,
because that was very big for our brand on Amazon.
yes,
So yes, that is one of the things. And then also with, we have a lot of resellers, and with the team kind of helping me filter who was authorized, who's not authorized. That's also been a challenge, and everybody's been so kind and patient with me and making sure that, it's okay, like it's not the end of the world. They'll reach out to you if they reach out. If you want to let them sell, they can sell. So just everything that I've learned throughout this process has been pretty top tier. But those are probably the two things that stand out the most to me. But there's things that are done on a daily basis that I can't really, say that
yeah.
I can't. All these things are being done on our behalf that makes our brand look better, run smoothly, and that's what's top tier.
Appreciate it, and that was my call out too, the listing problem,
Yeah.
and yeah, like this is why, like, I don't want to bring up, the sales growth that we had, all of, like, those are all common, we've had it, but these are the things that kind of an more intimate, in this case, that we were talking about losing, a significant amount of revenues, and we're brink of that, and it's always emotion. I myself went through, a couple of times, so I know how it goes. And yes, it's definitely something memorable that, and I'm glad we passed it through. And also, it's one thing I always teach to my team members. It's always, it's in our topic as well, which is the being proactive, not reactive. And
Hmm.
that's the learning, right? Because we know, starting to learn the categories, because we're starting to learn what could be the challenges. So now, next time when we're creating a listing or we're making an update on an
Yes.
SEO,
We're
make sure
knowing
that we
that's
have
what
those
to say
guidelines in.
because, yeah, because Amazon can be so sensitive to certain things that we're thinking that's helpful, but Amazon is dinging it like it's a problem. So as we're, growing, we're learning what not to put and how to describe things in a better way. That's approved for Amazon. So yeah, that's
Yes,
that's also a big thing.
absolutely. Just to kind of summarize it, or you guys, here you go. You heard it from the Adia, and the Amazon is the way. I mean, I know we like to use that term as a necessary evil, and it, to a certain degree, for some it is, but you cannot really deny the fact of the conversion that is much higher on Amazon, the traffic, which is huge, and when you are having the right strategies in place, you're not going to give all that sale to Amazon. You can use the Amazon your own benefits. You need
Hmm.
to be able to win them in their own game. And maybe that sounds delusional. There's no way of winning Amazon in their own game. Yes, maybe there isn't.
No.
But trying and putting the right places will give you the advantage over that.
Yep,
One thing
it's
we've learned
it's
every
really
day.
the brand awareness that people you have to kind of swallow and understand that the brand awareness that Amazon provides for you for your brand, can, connect to other things, your own personal site or, whatever the case may be. but the awareness that you get from Amazon, because everybody shops on Amazon, it's a safe place. You can't get that from anywhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah. And that's true. I made a similar example on the last call I had, which is the amount of impressions, which is in the if you turn it to the brick and mortar parallel, it's the people that walk by your store. There is no way you can get that many people to walk by your store
Right, that is true.
anywhere aside from the Amazon. And that's kind of the feedback that I wanted to close this call up to the call out to the future sellers, as Adia shared. For anyone out there thinking, you know, if you need one more reason, think of that brand awareness. And they are not a company who needed that brand awareness per se. They already had that brand awareness. But the Amazon allowed that to elevate to the next level. And it's all about harnessing that power. It's all about harnessing that power and using it to your advantage. Again, you're not going to win it 100% maybe in your mind, but being able to utilize the opportunities that Amazon can provide for your brand, I think that should be the lesson here. So, again, thank you very much for being on the call. And as a reminder for everyone, we have the Adia. She is the CEO and the co-owner of the RA Cosmetics. They are a big beauty product. I definitely suggest you to check out on them. Whatever your shopping channel is, it's an Amazon or the direct to their consumer store. Definitely do that. So, if there's anything else you want to say, please go ahead, Adia. Otherwise, pleasure to meet you and have this conversation.
No, y'all can find us on Amazon, RA Cosmetics. You can follow us on our socials. We're on Instagram, RA Cosmetics Official, TikTok, RA Cosmetics Official. Follow us.
There you go. You heard it. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye, Ruben.